Hello everyone, I am your teacher Ms.Santosh Yadav. I am going to teach you English in this session. And in English we have three books. One is main course book, which is our reader book Honeycomb, and English grammar book, which is BBC Compacta, and third book is literature reader, which is full of interesting stories. Now today we will start our session with our main course book, which is Honeycomb. This is the cover page, and on the back of cover page some important information is given. You all must read it, and after flipping 2-3 pages, one more important page is given, which is the Constitution of India Preamble. Here introduction of our constitution is given. Now move on the main story, which is three questions, and it is written by Leo Tolstoy. Now I will show you the picture of Leo Tolstoy. In the story, three questions, Leo Tolstoy had highlighted three philosophical questions where King's dilemma was to find the best response for his questions. Yes, here the small information about Leo Tolstoy is given. He was born on 9 September 1828. His major work is War and Peace and Anna Karenina. He wrote many short stories and essays. So now let's move on the main book. E-book I have downloaded here. You can also download the same. Now let's move on the chapter reading. Before you read, a king has, I have put one sticky note here. Let's see what is here. Yeah, we are starting this chapter on 26th March. Now let's read the story. A king has three questions and he is seeking answers to them. What are the questions? Does the king get what he wants? So let's read the story ahead. You also might be having many questions and having many answers for the same question. Let's see what questions here king is having. Three questions. The thought came to a certain king. Children, I have highlighted few words here because I want you to use these words when you will summarize your story in your own words. So you have to use some words from the story itself. The thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew three things. Amazing. What are the three things that king wants to know and he wants to be a successful ruler? Three things were: what is the right time to begin something? It is the first question. Second question is, which people should he listen to? And third question is, what is the most important thing for him to do? Now let's see. The king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large and handsome amount of money to anyone who would answer these three questions. So now you can make out how important the three questions are for king, that he has sent messengers to get the satisfactory answer. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. Same happens in the classroom also. Like when we ask you a question, you people come with the different answers. In reply to the first question, some said the king must prepare a timetable, as we all have a timetable in our school, and some people are like having timetable at their home also and they're following it strictly. And what the wise men suggested, after making or after preparing a timetable, the king should follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything at its proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. Yeah, sometimes situation we face some situation that where we have to take the on-the-spot decision. Next, the king should notice all that was going on, avoid foolish pleasures. I have highlighted avoid foolish pleasures means we should avoid such people who keeps on pleasing us unnecessarily, or like who keeps on saying, oh, you're a great king, you're this, you're that, who keeps on boasting about you unnecessarily. And moving towards the next paragraph. And always do whatever seemed necessary at that time. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men. I am also quite agreed with the point, council of wise men who would help him act at the proper time. See children, here the meaning of council is given, a group of people chosen to give advice or to make rules. We have like small councils at our home also, we have council at school also. Every institution has a council to function smoothly. So what is the role of council? To take the decision and to execute it. As at your home you have council of your grandparents, your parents, whatever they suggest or whatever rule and regulations they have made at home, we are following them. This was because, now moving towards again the reading portion, this was because one man would find it impossible to decide correctly. Correct. If we will take suggestion from one man, it won't be worthy. Three heads are better than one head. It's a famous saying that if you will take ideas from two, three wise men, it would be more worthy. The right time for every action. But then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. Like, yes, in India now, what is the urgency? Coronavirus. And what our Honorable Prime Minister has decided? He locked down whole nation. So now moving towards again the reading content. These things could not wait for the decision of the council. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future. Obviously, before taking any decision, we should always see what will be the impact of their decision in the future. Like being children, now it is important for all you to read. If you won't read, then what will happen in future? You should try to get it that it is the time, according to time, you should read now, so your future will be fantastic. And only magicians could do that. Surprisingly, how magicians can predict our future? The king therefore would have to go to magicians. Very strange suggestion, children. Huh? In their answers to the second question, some said that. So what is the second question? Let me read it once again. That which people should he listen to? Fine. Which people he should listen to now? Let's see. In their answers to the second question, some said the people most necessary to the king were his counselors. Agreed. Others said the priest. I don't know. A few others chose the doctors. Doctor's job is to look after the patients. And yet others said that his soldiers were the most necessary. He has so many soldiers whom he will approach at a time. To the third question. Now what is the third question here? What is the most important thing for him to do? So let's see. To the third question, some said science, like the king should focus on the science and how our nation can progress. And others chose fighting to get more and more areas. And yet others religious worship. Fine. So he got the answers of all the three questions, but none of the answer could satisfy his questions. As the answers to his questions were so different, the king was not satisfied and gave no reward. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit. Children, in the beginning, it was given like a certain king. Name was not known. And same way here, a certain hermit is given who was widely known for his wisdom. In India, we have famous stories of some of the wise men. Can you come up with the name of any one of them? Yeah, in these days, we can see the TV serial also of Tenali Rama. Yes, Tenali Rama is a wise man, and Akbar and Birbal stories are also very famous for their wisdom. The hermit lived in a wood. Wood means jungle, forest, which he never left. He saw no one but simple people. And so the king put on ordinary clothes. Before he reached the hermit's hut, the king left his horse with his bodyguard and went on alone. He disguised himself so that the hermit would not come to know that whom he is talking to. Then let's see what happens next. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit taking the ground in front of his hut, I believe. Yeah, hut. He greeted the king and continued digging. The hermit was old and weak, and he and as he worked, he breathed heavily. The king went up to the hermit and said, I have to come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer these three questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? And who are the people I need most? And what affairs are the most important? The hermit listened to the king but did not speak. He went on digging. You are tired, said the king. Let me take the spade and work in your place. Thanks, said the hermit, giving the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. After so long, here we can see an image that the hermit is handing over spade to king. Here king is in the disguise of ordinary person. Yeah, now let's see what happens next. When the king had dug two beds, he stopped and repeated his questions. In summary, you have to use these words. The hermit gave no answer but stood up, stretching out his hands for the spade and said, Now you rest and let me work. But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. I forget to tell you the meaning of beds here. Small patches of ground for plants. We dig small area and we just sow the seeds. 1 hour passed, then another. The sun went down behind the trees, and at last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return home. Here comes someone running, said the hermit. I have put one more sticky note here, so let's see what's here. Yeah, interval time. So it's an interval of our story. Now let's have a comprehension check. Why did the king want to know answers to 3 questions? Yes, can you come up with any of the option, like why did the king want to know answers of the 3 questions? Correct answer, to become a successful ruler. Now next question is, messengers were sent throughout the kingdom to fetch wise men. Second, to find answers to the questions, to look for the wise hermit, or to announce a reward for those who could answer the questions. Yes, the last one is the correct answer, to announce a reward for those who could answer the questions, satisfactory answers. So children, this is done for today, and your homework is you have to summarize how much we read in the story. Bye-bye. Take care.